This is Anatomy of Success, and I'm your host, Steve Wohlenhaus. This week, here are 6 biases to be improved so we can become more successful in life. Glad you joined us. Let's get started. Welcome to Anatomy of Success. Each week we talk about 4 tenets of equanimity, which are health, healthy relationships, healthy intimate relationships, and more satisfying work. A big category of things we can focus on every day to increase life satisfaction. And I believe if we stay laser focused on substantive things, happiness does become a critical part of our day. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our audio podcast if you would, please. And then find me at weatherology.com under About Us. At the top of that page, we can connect on social media. Oh, and by the way, grab the Weatherology mobile app. It's free. In 2016, cognitive psychologists Stephen Wohlenhaus and Andrew Ghibli conducted a study on pilots. They found aviators underestimated the dangers of flying into inclement weather. If another pilot had successfully navigated the storm, other pilots that flew in thought they had it all figured out. At Georgetown University, Catherine Tinsley studied hurricane survivors. She discovered if someone endured a hurricane unscathed, they were less likely to purchase flood insurance before the next big storm came around. At Harvard Business School, researchers studied scientists who fabricated test results after examining a drug's efficacy. If the drug turned out to be safe and effective, patients were less critical of those scientists' unethical behavior. So what's the point? People are terrible at managing risk, often making bad decisions that have catastrophic consequences. It's called outcome bias, and it forces people to judge the outcome of decisions based on conclusions without examining every variable that impacts the results. Outcome bias highlights human fallibility and demonstrates the irrational nature of how many people making decisions every day rely on erroneous information to do so. Outcome bias isn't the only bias that gets people into trouble. Here are 6 biases that we can improve so we can become more successful in life. Confidence. Optimism is great until it leads to being overconfident, and that forces us to make bad decisions based on unrealistic assessments of our ability level. In the process, we fail to examine danger and risky endeavors and embrace ideas that are oftentimes not good. Researchers at Harvard Business School discovered most entrepreneurs believe their business is going to succeed even when they were told by experts it would not. Control. I encourage people often to focus on what they can control. This approach provides people with a sense of confidence that enables them to focus on being proactive instead of feeling hopeless when life circumstances create uncertainty. The problem, many take it way too far. They believe they control everything now, and they start to focus on controlling everything at the expense of being realistic and appraising risk more appropriately. Vacuum. Many people live in a vacuum reinforced by social media feeds and news sources that validate their opinions. It's called confirmation bias, and it's ruining American culture. Once people form an opinion, it's easy to seek information that supports and validates those beliefs and fail to question the validity of those ideas. Once we get married to a desired outcome, it's virtually impossible for people to deviate and form alternative viewpoints. Closed. Related to the previous point is a disconnection in the human brain that forces people to seek validation to affirm their beliefs. When they are exposed to contradictory information, inconsistent with their ideas, they become recalcitrant. Their defiance compels them to be closed-minded about opposing beliefs to reduce the stress that coincides with inconsistency. Pursuit. Now, there's a few things that illustrate my point here. Recent phenomena, fads, get people's attention. Research shows, however, that 50% of all new money, for instance, invested in the stock market was placed in 10% of mutual funds that had the best performance the previous year. Any legitimate financial planner is going to caution people against doing that because past performance is no indication of future success. However, people can't resist fads in what's comfortable and what seems alluring. Scarcity. Humans possess a strong scarcity bias. Once we believe something is scarce, we place tremendous value on the importance of it. This drives up demand or creates the impression of limitation. The run on toilet paper during COVID, perfect example. Scarcity also distracts us from placing value on things that are available in abundance. This explains why so many people struggle with seeing anyone succeed. They believe there's no room for them to succeed if other people are succeeding. Now, I'd love your thoughts on what you believe was relevant about this conversation or anything you'd like to add to it in the comments section below. I'm Steve Wohlenhaus. This is Anatomy of Success. Come back again next week. Until then, let's stay focused, let's stay positive, and let's stay optimistic.